What you say, ranch hand? You ready for a little bit of catch? Sounds good to me.
So what was happening in Cowboy Science? It seemed like you couldn't catch the ball.
Well, shoo-wee, I love playing catch, but the sun's in my eyes every single morning right there.
I actually have that problem at nighttime when we come out and play catch. It seems like I can never really see the ball.
The sun's in your eyes over there?
Yeah.
You reckon it's coming up and going down in the same place every day?
Well, I guess so. We've been playing catch for a couple weeks now, and it always seems to be the same.
Huh. What could we call that?
Well, something that continues and is the same is called a pattern.
A pattern, you say?
Yeah.
Well, we better do a little more investigating.
All right, sounds good.
To the science lab. Howdy, y'all. Well, we're going to be investigating the sun a little more this week. So let's check back on last week and make sure we remember what we did. So if we get last week's learning out, we started with a question. Does the sun make shadows move? And then my hypothesis was that I thought the shadows would be staying in the same place. And when we made our shadow tracker, I got mine right here. We recorded our data and we found out that the shadows were moving throughout the day. So the answer was that I learned that shadows move throughout the day. So my hypothesis was wrong. But I sure learned something new, which is great. Alrighty, Sally. So if we're going to have a new experiment, we better follow the 4 parts. What's our part 1?
So my new question is, how does the sun make shadows move?
Sounds great. And then part 2 is our hypothesis.
Okay, what's going to be our hypothesis?
Well now Sally, a hypothesis is a guess. So you got to make sure you're coming up with your own guess for each experiment you do. It's important to think of your own ideas and use your own thoughts to figure out what's going to happen next.
Okay, well let me take a second to think about this. Oh, when we were playing catch this morning, we realized that the sun moves in a pattern.
That's when it comes up and goes down in the same spot, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe, my hypothesis could be, I think the pattern of the sun makes shadows move.
Well, that's a great idea. We're going to have to finish the experiment and find out if that's true or not.
Alright, I'm going to go get started on a rocket ship to go to space.
A rocket ship? Now, Sally, I don't know if we're going to be able to build a rocket ship just for this experiment. I know that the sun's in outer space, but maybe we're not going to be able to go visit it to ask it what it's doing.
Okay, then what are we going to do?
So if the sun's too far away and too big to look at, maybe we could shrink it down and make it a lot smaller so that we could really see what's going on.
And what's that called?
That'd be making a model. So if we take something big and then we make a small version of it to look at better, it's a model. So we'll have to use a model for this experiment.
Alright, I'm really excited. Should we get started?
Let's do it. Great idea, Ranch Hand. We'll make a model of the sun. So what Ranch Hand was saying is that the sun's real bright. It has a lot of light. So if we get something else with some light, we can make a small model of it. So he got a flashlight and then wrote the sun on it to show that we got a model of the sun. So if we remember, in the morning, the sun comes up on one side. In the middle of the day at noon, it's up high in the middle. And then at night, it goes away on the other side. So I figure what we could try to do is use our shadow tracker in our model of the sun and see if we can really figure out what's going on. Now, Miss Sally, I thought we were conducting an experiment.
Yeah, sorry about that. Alright, what are we doing here?
Well, you got a model of the sun, and we've got our shadow tracker.
Ooh.
So let's see if you could use the model to collect enough data to answer our new question.
Okay, so say the sun starts here, and my shadow is on 9:30, and if it goes around... Whoa! There it's at 4 o'clock. 7 o'clock?
Well, that's pretty cool. So it looks like the sun's doing the same thing in our model that it is in real life. So if we have it in the morning, at 9:30, we see our shadow tracker. And then when it comes up at noon, all the way over when we had it at 4, we got our shadow tracker still. And then when it sets at night, we've got it at 7. So it looks like our model is showing the same thing that's happening in real life.
Whoa! That's super cool. I like this model. Hey, can anybody make that at home?
Well, sure enough, all it is a flashlight. So if you've got a phone or an iPad with a light on it or a flashlight with a light on it, you could try it again and just use your shadow tracker and see if you can get the same data.
Awesome!
Alrighty, Miss Sally, so we got part 1 and part 2. What is part 3 of our experiment?
Collecting data.
Okay, and we have the model, so what kind of data did we get?
Well, I found out that the pattern of the sun makes shadows move. I checked that out by using a flashlight for my sun and using my shadow tracker from last week.
Well, alrighty. So it sounds like you're already ready for part 4, the conclusion.
The conclusion, okay. Oh! I found out that
Hold on now, Miss Sally. So we've got found and out. They sound pretty similar, but one of them's spelled differently. Do you think that's right?
Oh, you're right. I know how to spell that word. Sorry about that. I found out that the pattern of the sun makes shadows move.
Oh, that's great. Oh, uh-oh. I don't think you're quite finished with that sentence.
Sorry about that.
Well, now, Miss Sally, it sounds like we've got all 4 parts of our experiment. Do you feel like you learned some new things today?
Yeah, I learned a lot, and I feel way less confused.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
So during our experiment, what else did you learn?
I learned about a model. So I can use a model, like for example, my flashlight was my sun. So I think I can maybe use models to solve other questions I have.
Oh, that's great. Sounds like some really good ideas for next week.
Sounds good. See you then.
Yeehaw!